if somebody is eating an inflammatory diet and maybe they know it, maybe they're eating a standard American diet, maybe they're having a significant amount of packaged and processed foods, again, specifically out of habit and convenience. Is there a way for them to recover from this inflammatory diet by selecting specific foods that can help bring that omega-6 to omega-3 ratio down and really like lower their inflammatory status in a short period of time?
Well, I certainly have found that with people with inflammatory conditions like RA. And so what we do with those folks is get them on a very low-fat diet with lots of leafy greens. And so we are talking about foods like sweet potatoes, foods like quinoa, buckwheat, amaranth. These sort of, they're actually, pseudo grains, not even like, grains as such. And then we slowly expand their foods into fruits and non-starchy vegetables, and we just build more diversity after starting out with just an absolute collapse of inflammation. We just want to intervene so aggressively that people say, oh my God, it just feels like a new me within a few days because I have such low inflammation. And we need that kind of discovery to be able to say, wow, I'm going to stay plant-based for like as long as it takes to continue to get this inflammation down. And most people stay plant-based forever because pain is a great motivator. And so once we have that under control, we're motivated to stick with it. So those foods I mentioned are powerful. Lots and lots of greens as we come back to again, because they do have, we actually haven't mentioned this, have we? They have purely omega-3s. Okay, so they're only omega-3s, no omega-6. Just the quantity of the fat is low. So we need to eat a lot of them. And the benefits by doing so improve our microbiome. They're rich in vitamins and minerals and antioxidants. And so it's not just the fats that we're chasing. In fact, it's just one of a spectrum of wonderful benefits. So those foods are great. And then we can move into other cooked foods if people like, carbohydrate rich, or like a McDougall style approach of whole starches and so on is perfectly fine. But generally at the start, it's the foods I mentioned, heaps of fruits. Again, it's like very similar to the mastering diabetes approach. Fruits do a great job. Keep people compliant and interested in the diet because they're so flavorful and diverse. And then the cooked food is there as well to assist with taste, flavor, satiability, weight maintenance as well. It just works a treat.
Yeah, I love it. It's such a simple prescription, but yet it is so powerful. I almost feel like in today's world, if it's not complicated, it can't be right. There's this sort of feeling like, I can't just eat more fruits and vegetables, right? That it seems too easy. It seems too simple. Like you must be missing the science, right? But in reality, you're like, no, just eat more fruits, more vegetables, more legumes, more whole grains, and limit your intake of packaged and processed foods, eliminate oils, and try and minimize your intake of, saturated fat rich foods from the animal world. And boom, before you know it, lower inflammation, lower blood glucose, lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol, lower risk for Alzheimer's disease, lower risk for many cancers, lower risk for cardiovascular disease, and the list goes on. So it's really not that complicated, but I think that's actually one of the benefits because it's so straightforward, right? It's simple. It's simple, but it's not easy to do. And I think that's where, most people find that they need some kind of guidance or they need some, inspiration over the course of time. But, just getting your perspective about working with people who specifically have rheumatoid arthritis and seeing the benefits that they get from making this transition towards more whole foods is literally right in line, 100% in line with exactly what happens in the mastering diabetes world as well. So it's really good to see that congruence between the two.
Yeah, if you can improve rheumatoid arthritis, then you can certainly improve other conditions which have a lesser degree of inflammation. The joke used to be in the medical community some 50, 60 years ago that if someone with rheumatoid arthritis walked in the front door of the clinic, then the doctor would run out the back door, that it was just that hard to treat, that complicated, that much of a challenge, right?
For sure.
And so if we can turn around the lives of people who are in such debilitating inflammation using the strategies that we've just covered in this conversation, then the inflammation that is present in lesser obvious health conditions is certainly going to respond as well. And in the process of doing so, again, the benefits of weight loss is always there. And as you teach and are the expert at, insulin sensitivity, and so it's a one-stop shop. But as you say, it's tough for people because, especially type A personalities and people who are good at problem solving, people who like to intellectualize things, the solution is a little bit frustrating. It's just not. It's not. It doesn't have any. It doesn't have a satisfying edge of complexity that most of us enjoy to get our head around. It's just, this is all you need to do. If you want to have some kind of deep analytical approach to some aspects of your life, go and get a complex job and eat simple. And then you'll be you satisfy both things and live healthily.